Welcome to Aunt Debbie's Boutique. If you're new to the channel, I hope you will like and subscribe if you like what you see. It also would be helpful if you would view the introduction to this channel, and I'll link it in the comments. In that video, I talk about all the supplies you need and the things we're going to do, and it would just be helpful to have all that information before you start on a project. Today's project is going to be a teddy bear. We're going to be doing this teddy bear right here. And our second video this week will be a continuation of the first one where we do the bunny rabbit. So what you need for today's project is 2 pieces of fabric that are approximately 9 by 12 inches. You need some stuffing, polyfill, and I'll link all of these down below. You need either a marking pen or some chalk or something that you can mark your pattern with. It's preferable if you have some pinking shears. These are the little zigzagged scissors. And we've used these already in one of our pillowcase videos. So these are real handy to have. If you don't have them, you can still use just a regular scissor, but it will ravel more. And that's what these scissors help to keep things from raveling. You will also need some sort of marking, permanent marking pen to mark your features on your teddy bear. I don't recommend that you use googly eyes or any of the eyes and noses that you can buy and stick on there, even if they're affixed very, very well. The reason for that is a young child can put those in their mouth and chew them off pretty easily and then choke on them. So unless you know this is not going to be around a young child, I would recommend just drawing your own features on. Okay. The first thing we're going to do is center our pattern piece on here. And we're going to trace our pattern. You're also going to need the pattern piece that goes with this. Now, I don't like to make patterns where you have to buy the pattern if you don't want to. And so I like to have pattern pieces I can just give you the measurements of. But in this case, there was no way to do that. So this fits on a sheet of 8.5 by 11 fabric. 8.5 by 11 paper. And you can, if you can freehand draw that, that's good. And a good thing to do is to fold it over so that it's the same on both sides. You can also purchase a kit from my Etsy shop called Aunt Debbie's Boutique. It's at auntdebbiesboutique.com without an apostrophe. And this kit includes the pattern, written instructions, step-by-step instructions, and the pattern piece for both the bear and the bunny. It only comes with fabric for the bear, but it's already cut out for you with the pinking shears. It comes with the fiber fill and a marking pen. Then this is all for $15. So if you prefer to purchase the kit, go to AuntDebbiesBoutique.com. Okay. Now that we've traced our pattern, let's cut it out with our pinking shears, and I'm going to place a couple of pins in here just to hold it. And I see a place that I didn't get marked real good with my chalk, so I'm going to remark that. So with our pinking shears, let's just cut this out. Pinking shears are a little bit harder to cut with than regular ones, especially if they're not very sharp. So you want to make sure and keep them sharp. Okay, we now have our teddy bear cut out. Let's get it right side up. The flat part goes at the top, and it's more rounded down here at the bottom. I did fail to mention that you can purchase just the instructions and the pattern piece for, I believe it's $3 on the website, and there are more than one fabric to choose from for the teddy bear. Okay, now we are going to take this over to our sewing machine, and we're going to sew a 1/4 inch around, all the way around. And if I didn't mention, we have wrong sides together this time, not right sides like we usually do. So we want to, our seam is going to be exposed, but it's just going to give the bear a little character. Most of the time we will put right sides together, sew, and then turn it wrong side out, or right side out. But this time we're going to let the bear have a little bit of fringe. So we're going to leave the part open between the ears here, about 2 inches or so that we can stuff him. So let's take this over to the sewing machine now and get some practice on sewing curved seams. Don't be too hard on yourself if this is the first time you've done that. I'm sorry, it looked like it was pretty dark in that last piece of the video. I apologize for that. Okay, I'm just going to leave a few pins here in the center so I don't have to take them out, but it will hold it in place. And I'm going to back stitch right here at the beginning, and then sew all the way around very slowly, so because we have to turn as we go. And when we get to a place like this, where it's a sharp turn, we want to leave our needle down and pivot, lifting up your presser foot so you can turn your fabric a little better. when we get to the end, we want to back stitch again, which is like tying a knot, so that it doesn't come unthreaded when we're trying to stuff it. Okay, let's clip our threads off, take out our pins. Let's go back over to the cutting table to stuff it. Okay, when we stuff it with our polyfill, we want to stuff it in kind of small little wads. So I kind of pull it apart. Then we go up here to our opening. And push it in and push it all the way down to the bottom and fill from the bottom up. And just continue doing that until you have him stuffed. You don't want to overstuff him because he's going to be hard to close the final seam if you do that. But down at the bottom you could put as much stuffing as you want in. Okay, now that we have him stuffed, we want to put a couple of pins at the top. Either side works. I think this is the side I sewed from. So you can see if you had him stuffed too much up here at the top, it'd be real hard to sew that closed. So we want to push the stuffing out of the way as much as we can. And put a couple of pins, and then we're going to sew right across here. Okay, let's go back to the sewing table. Now I want to make sure and back stitch at the beginning and the end and to not run over my pins. We don't want it harming our machine. And we don't want them flying up and hitting us in the eye. Just make sure you start and stop where you start and stop before. You don't want to leave anything unsewn. Okay. Now the only thing left to do is put some features on him. So let's go back to the cutting table. Okay, these are the kind of pens that I include in my kits. They're acrylic paint markers and they're good for fabric. So that's what we're going to use. I mean, any kind of fabric pen will work. You have to shake it up a little bit. And now we're going to draw our features. I don't know if that fits on there. And I'm sure you're a better artist than I am. Need to get this started. There we go. Took a little bit to get it started. I'm going to draw a little triangle nose right here with the smile coming out and some big old eyes. And since mine's going to be a girl, I'm going to put eyelashes. Nice big eyelashes. And then a little pupil in there. So you can see I'm not the best artist. You can probably do a better job. But our bear is finished. You can tie a nice little ribbon around him, and he makes an excellent gift for a very young child because he's so easy to hold and squeeze, and even puppies are very fond of Mr. Teddy Bear. So that's all for our session today. We will work on the bunny next time, which will be very similar, so it'll be a very short video, but there is a little bit that you have to do different on the ears, so I want to go over that with you. And just remember, whatever you do, do it for the glory of the Lord.